Welcome back to the show, everyone. This is a really exciting day. Welcome to this wonderful experience we get to have with our live audience here. Those of you joining us on all the platforms and Spotify and Apple and YouTube and Facebook. We're so happy that we're collectively here together. And I'm really excited about what we are going to work on today. Because if you're here live or you're watching this, within close proximity to when we are recording, it is 11/11. Okay, 11/11. That means November 11th, 11th month of the year, 11th day of the month. And why is that significant? Why should we care? You may or may not, but what I think is so powerful about 11/11 and specifically this 11/11, this November 11th, is these sort of special numeral days can be a portal to breakthroughs, to arise, to shifts, to big leaps forward. And this particular one definitely is that. And so we have an opportunity today, which is always exciting when we get together. It's always exciting to come together and with the intention of your rise, your inner rise, your outer rise to your next milestone, your next vision, your next goal. But specifically today, we have a sort of energetic like lift. It's sort of we've got a supercharge. There's a supercharge to what we can create when we are tapping into this energy of 11/11. So if that feels magical to you, if it feels fun, if it means nothing to you, just know that there's a little extra support, there's a little extra inspiration, there's a little extra clarity, there's extra empowerment, there's extra synchronicity that you can activate on a day like this. So I just want to hear activate in the comments of the chat, those of you on the various platforms, tuning into the show today, if that's exciting, if you want to tap into it. So just you're going to activate some extra support and inspiration, clarity, and energy for yourself. And it's a really exciting time. So I'm thrilled that we're all here because when we join together, right? There's an even bigger rise that gets to happen. So we're going into a new series that's really kicking off right now. And I'm excited for us to talk about it. Many of us met last week for a book boot camp, right? Many of you were there. And whether you were there or not, one of the things we worked on a lot all week long was making a conscious decision, a destiny decision even, to move out of the trust recession that is going on in the world right now and to create a trust ascension in ourselves with the people we're here to serve that then creates a rise in the trust on our planet. So I want to build on that and take us into a new series where we're going to be focusing, yes, again, on visibility, because I believe visibility is the number one factor of what's going to happen for each of us next year in terms of our purpose, in terms of our leadership, in terms of our income, and in terms of our impact on the world. And so what I want to focus on in this series now, and what we're going to be doing in the Secret Visibility Project, which is opening up today, what we're going to be focusing on in all of this is what's needed to create this trust ascension and be the leader people need you to be, while we have all these external factors making people swoop down to the bottom in fear, in contraction, feeling for all the reasons that they don't trust themselves, others, the world right now, for very good reason. There's a good reason why there's a trust recession, but we are not going to stay in it. We are going to be, as Gandhi said, the change we want to see in the world. And when we ascend our trust in ourselves and our conviction in the mission that we're here, the movement we're leading, that gives people hope. It breaks them out of this commiseration, that happens at the bottom of that recession. All right. So it's really exciting. We just have extra energy to do that this week. So what I want to talk about today, we're going to do some work on assessing your level of visibility right now. We've worked on this a lot through the year if you've been following the show and training with us. But we're going to come at it from some different angles, especially with new research that's coming out about 2025 and what is needed for thought leaders who are writing books, who are going on stages, who are podcasting, who are creating content, who are here looking to make real transformation on the planet. So we're going to talk about how are we going to make that effective, and we're going to look a little bit of visibility assessment work today. So please have something to write with or type with so that you can do this right along with all of us. And we're going to do this with love and curiosity. We're not going to judge ourselves, or I'm inviting you not to judge yourself or any of the state of the world. What if we were in curiosity together? Because curiosity can create a new opportunity. It's such an underrated energy. And maybe you've experimented that. You get into a discussion maybe with someone and people are kind of in two opposing points of view. If you switch to curiosity, the entire dynamic changes. And it's the same with ourselves. When we switch to ourselves, I wonder what's going on inside me that I'm feeling this way, or I wonder what could let this happen differently. I wonder what could be another way that this could work out. All possibilities open up to us, right? So part of creating a trust ascension is going to be really bringing curiosity into our own conversations and our own mindset, and to the world through the content that we create and the conversations that we have. Okay, so the number one thing that I personally believe is going to determine our income, our impact, our contribution, our leadership, our missions in the world over the coming year is visibility. And just to remind ourselves what visibility means, it's just, do people know about you? Do they know who you are? Do they know what you do? Do they know the transformation you provide? Do they know the solutions that you have? And do they know how to work further with you, whether that's through reading your book or doing a course or coaching with you or whatever it is? So that is the question. That is the question we get to ask. Do enough people, have you reached all the people that you're here to serve? And I'm going to go ahead and just say, I doubt anyone watching this can say yes to that. I'm certainly not giving that a yes yet. Right. And I want to, in this series in particular, we've looked at all kinds of forms of visibility, speaking, writing. What we're going to hone in on right now is visibility specifically on social media. Now that might fill you with dread, or it might fill you with excitement, or it might fill you with, I don't even know. And I want to share why, because the new statistic says that the average adult is spending 2.5 hours per day on their social media platforms. Now, you might say, I never go on social media. Who are these people? It may not be true for you, but chances are that at least one or more are true for the people you are here to serve. They're checking in, they're watching stuff on YouTube, they're looking at Instagram or Facebook posts, they're on LinkedIn making networking connections, they're laughing at something on TikTok, whatever the platforms are, right? We're just talking the umbrella. 2.5 hours a day. And even if you don't, because I actually didn't even go on social media till very recently, and I only go on for, to provide content and value and connect professionally. That's fine if you don't like it, you don't enjoy it, you don't want to be there, but your people are there. Very rare circumstances would it be that none of the people you're here to reach and touch with your writing, your thought leadership, your voice, your message are on social media. So the reason we are going to do this whole series now, and we're going to even have the secret YouTube project, which I'll share with you all about in a few minutes if you want to be part of that. The only reason we're doing this is because that is a staggering number. At least I feel like it is. I think it's a colossal number. And so for me to just not want to say that I want to really, really serve powerfully as a global thought leader, and then not go where people, and it's 11:11 where I'm filming right now. So we are 11:11 at 11:11. I think that's so cool that we're here together at this exact moment. I don't mean, do things you don't like, but what about being of service? If we're really here to serve, and this is where our people are hanging out. And if you know for a fact that none of your people go on any social platforms, then just, translate this to wherever they do hang out, right? But for most of us, and anyone that's in the space of author, speaker, thought leader, your people are on social media. Can we get curious? What would it be like if I was more present on social, more consistent on social, more effective on social, more generous on social? What if we're going to get back to curiosity, right? So I want to do a little diagnostic together and just find out if you might be experiencing any what we call here, what I sort of made up this term earlier this year, VR, visibility resistance. Okay, we're going to check in if we've got any visibility resistance going on. And if you come out of this little assessment realizing that you do have a little VR going on, I want you to know that you are not alone. I work on this every single day because I just want to go take walks, write my books, coach clients, go out and like it isn't the place I most naturally felt drawn to be, right? And so you're not alone. And it's okay. And there's nothing wrong with anyone. It's just let's find out. So does anyone want to know if you've got VR? You want to know if we've got VR? Luckily, it's not an STD. It's much easier to work with, right? All right, VR. I want to ask you a couple of very quick questions. And you're just going to note to yourself. And if you're watching on social, you can share in the comments. If you're here in the live audience on Zoom, you can share in the Zoom. I want to find out if any of these are true to you. Okay. So the first is, have you avoided completely or avoided being consistent on social media over the last 6 months? Okay. That's a very general question, but just go ahead and give yourself a check-in and say, yep, if that's true for you. Okay. So maybe you've avoided it completely like I did for years, or maybe you have posted things on social media, but it's been sporadic, it's been inconsistent. Maybe, it's like I've done a little bit here and there, and then I felt whatever. So just check in with yourself and just put a Y for yes if that is true for you in any way. There's no judge now. We want to dial into maybe why. This is where we're going to get curious for ourselves, right? We're not going to judge ourselves, or we're maybe not even going to write this off and say, this doesn't apply to me. I am not doing it. That's okay. Just let's be curious and tell me if any of these are true for you. Number A, this would be A under I've avoided or I haven't been consistent. I don't like going on social media because I don't want to add to the noise. So many people constantly posting things nonstop. I do not want to add to the noise. So notice for yourself if that is up for you. And just put N for noise if you're here in Zoom. You can do it in live audience. If that's a reason you have just like, oh, so crowded. People are constantly bombarding stuff. That was a big one for me. Have you avoided social media or been inconsistent because you feel a little bit like, what's the point? You post stuff and no one even engages. You go live and no one's on. You share things and it hasn't yielded new clients. You haven't made money from it. You see these big famous people that are all over, and like, what's the point? I'm not a celebrity. I don't have $1 million like Gary Vee and Mel Robbins to spend on my social media advertising. What is the point? So just notice. Maybe it's less what's the point and more like, who do you think you are? Making videos, posting things on social media. Like, you don't know what you're doing. You're not some big famous influencer person. Isn't social media for influencers? Who do you think you are making lives, videos, you know? So just check in there. We're going to put this under imposter syndrome. Okay? Imposter syndrome is an umbrella term for any of that. Who do you think you are? You're not good enough. You're not famous. You don't know what you're doing. No one cares anyway. Your voice doesn't matter. So that's going to be your imposter syndrome camp. Just notice if that has kept you from going on. Final one, just the overwhelm of so many things already on your to-do list, plus this whole world of social media, the algorithms, the platforms. Am I supposed to do 30 seconds? Do people even see the stuff I post? You hear these depressing statistics like only 5% of people who even already follow you will even see anything. Who would spend time doing this? The overwhelm of figuring out like like when to make this stuff and what to post and what kinds of content and what kinds of things, and it's just freaking overwhelming. Okay. So the first big question was just, have I been avoiding or inconsistent on social media in a place I know my people probably hang out? Just getting curious there. And then we looked underneath that at four resistance or four visibility blockers, 4 points of visibility resistance. I don't want to add to the noise. What's the point? How am I going to break through anyway? I'm not famous. I don't have $1 million, a million followers. Imposter syndrome, like, who do I think I am doing this? I'm not some big name, whatever. Or just the sheer freaking overwhelm of what is asked of us to figure any of this out. Well, I've had all of these. And these are the reasons I actually stayed off social media for so long. Many of us have a visibility wound, if that lands anywhere for you. Not everyone. We can have a visibility wound from watching someone else get like attacked or canceled or shamed on social. You just think, God, I don't want to invite that to myself. I hear about some nice person and someone saying mean things. No thanks. We can have a visibility wound from we put something out there and like nothing happened and it felt like this is part of the business PTSD. We gave value and nothing, we felt like it just went into the nothingness. That can create a feeling of a little bit of a wound there. Wounded for putting ourselves out there and not feeling like we were met or having it reciprocated. Wounds from someone said something. I want to share something that happened a number of years ago. I had a coach. Everyone was telling me, you need to be on Facebook. You got to be on Facebook. Got to be on Facebook. And I didn't want to be on Facebook personally for, I don't really care so much what my high school friends are having for lunch. Like I don't need, I don't need that. Like I love them, but like I don't need to know that, right? That's kind of how I thought about social media. But I really heard what she was saying, and I said I want to show up here. So I'm getting ready to run a workshop, and she said, why don't you put up a post that you're going to run this writing workshop, and boost it, and it's like $10 and you could boost your post and more people will see it. And I thought, okay, I could do that. Like I'm going to be open. I'm going to be receptive. I'm going to be coachable. And so I went and put up this post about a writing workshop I was doing, and a family member screenshot it and sent it to me. And she said, is this you? I was like, well, it's a picture of me and it's what so yeah, it's me. And she said, well, this is really embarrassing for me. We were texting and she said, this is really embarrassing for me. Like, I know people on Facebook and it's embarrassing that you're like putting, Facebook is for people. This is where people give you rules, Facebook's for people to share personal things, not talk about like, what are you doing a workshop, right? And I felt cloaked in shame. I felt so terrible. Instead of just saying to this person, don't look at my stuff then, you know what I mean? Like, it just like, I didn't have any of it. I went right back to being this shamed child of like, no one wants to hear from you. You're too much. No one likes you. That was just the family upbringing, right? And I went off social media for 3 years. That's how I responded to this. Didn't go back on for 3 years. And I share that because you all might think that was a really hyper reaction and crazy thing that, the way I reacted. But it was because I had a visibility wound from my childhood and from my upbringing, from my family and from teachers and all the stuff. And so that was still active. And when I got that mirror, I believe it was a mirror of something I believed. I believed it was, you know what I mean? It wasn't about this other person, but I just shut down. And I don't want that to happen for any of you ever again. If it has happened, meaning that you shut down over something either real or perceived, that's a criticism. I don't want your feeling of wound to keep you from being the contribution to this earth that you came here to be and to bringing forth your big magic. The world can't wait for any of you or me, any of us here, to like not be triggered or not be scared or not like we just can't wait anymore. It's too hard for people right now. They need your message. And so what I want to offer to you as we go through this series together and we dive, we're going to go deeper into the visibility, where we're going to go deeper into visibility resistance. We're going to go deeper, thank God, into what do we do about it. Today is sort of getting an overview of where we're going to go in this series on visible on social, because it is the one that at least I have heard people feel the most resistance to, for all those 4 reasons, or maybe others I didn't even mention. And I'd love to hear it, by the way. If you've been resisting or avoiding social media, please send something in the comments, or those of you here in the live audience, please feel free to share, because I really do want to hear what has held you back, if there has been anything. But we get to have a rise. We get to have a healing around what has kept us silenced, what has kept us held back, and really join ourselves and our lights together, so that it doesn't matter if someone doesn't like it. I have since had plenty of people criticize me on social media after I came back after that thing with my family member. I really don't care right now. I hope I never care again. I hope none of it ever gets to me again. But I tell you right now, I just don't care. I don't. And not because I'm callous or anything. It's just that's not my person. That family member isn't someone who wants to do the work I do anyway. So who cares? You can go what? I'm not asking anyone to, if people want to spend their valuable time looking at my stuff and then saying they don't like it, like, God bless them, change me. I am not going to play small and put a bushel over my big magic and my light so that people I'm not even here to serve are more comfortable. It's just like, that's the insanity that I finally realized for myself. You can decide if this is true for you. Okay. So you decide. Now, I hope that this has not scared you off to not want to continue doing this work together, that we're going to, be doing in this series. I hope that this is going to, some of you, Lisa Michelle in our live audience is saying, I'm posting more, but still resistant to going live. And you were supposed to launch your YouTube channel and have it. So Lisa, I am launching a new channel right now. Well, we're taking our current channel, like relaunching, and I'm so you could do it with me. Any of you watching can do this with me, right? We can do this together, whether it's YouTube or you want to do Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever. But I really want I'm looking for others to run, because if we run in a pack, we're not going to care so much about all the stuff, and we're going to do what we came here to do, right? So I'm so thrilled that some of you are feeling called to this. People are spending 2.5 hours a day on social media. They're there looking for help. They're looking for support. They're looking for answers. They're looking for guidance. They're looking for a laugh. They're looking for inspiration. And if you don't show up because either it's overwhelming, or you don't want to be part of the noise, or you have imposter syndrome, or you think that what's the point because there's too many people already doing it, then the only people they're going to find are the people with the millions of followers already, or the 12-year-olds who are really good at figuring out algorithms, or the bros that are really bombastic and loud. I don't mean bro in a gender. I'm talking about a personality type. So we get to have a shift. We get to be more visible, and we're going to focus on social. I'm going to be focusing on this for the next 90 days very deeply and intently. And if you want to, in addition to this series, if you want to do that work, we are actually opening up the officially the Secret Visibility Project today, because I love 1111 and it's a portal. We'll be looking at the different aspects. If you actually want to build with me, and you want to come along for the ride and build together over the next 90 days, we're going to go the end of November to the end of January. I am going to, in a way that makes me very uncomfortable, I am going to show you behind the curtain of everything I'm going to try on this new YouTube channel. And we are going to try out going for 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 9 different ways that we can all, as thought leaders, monetize on social media. I'm going to experiment with my time, my money, my resources, and my putting myself out there for, and then I'm going to playbook for those of you that want to build together. I'm going to playbook how what's working, so you don't have to make the mistakes I make, and you can fast track, and I'll write out the templates, and anything that works, I will show you those 9 different monetization strategies we're going to test, and any just ways to, really serve. And this is going to be done through integrity content, value-based content, generosity-based content, authenticity. This is not YouTube for 13-year-olds, even though I have a 13-year-old and that's fun for them. It's not YouTube for just, kind of bro content creators. It is YouTube for thought leaders. It is social media for thought leaders. So if you want to do that together, the link is here. And because it's Thanksgiving month, I consider this the opening of the Thanksgiving season to me, the 1111. You can even use the code visibility 100. So you're going to use the link. We'll post it for those of you on social. We'll put it here in Zoom now. You can use Visibility 100 and you can do this at like a fraction of what this is going to be in terms of an investment if you want to do it. Okay. So I wanted to share that because some of you have been so patient. You've been on our interest advanced list for Secret Visibility Project, and you can go there and read all about exactly how it's going to work. And I'll share more about that. Okay. So you're going to get to train with me and the amazing team like Danielle Coder is here. Hi, Danielle, who's going to be helping us do this project. You're going to get expert, we're going to bring in our expert breakdowns. I'm going to show you everything I'm doing. I'm going to give you templates. We're going to walk you through the process so that if you want to build together and not feel alone and not feel at the whim of all of that visibility resistance, you don't need to. Okay. So that's there for you if you want it. Today, no matter what, whether you're interested in doing the Secret Visibility Project or not, I want everybody to think, could I take this week and be curious what it would look like if I did show up on social in a way that's at my edge? Okay. So before we close, I want you to think about the two things. Where do you know it would be good for you in terms of making an impact on the people you're here to serve and growing your visibility as a thought leader? Where would you show up that you haven't been? Could be just more frequency, or it could be on a new type of platform. So I want you to identify that right now. For me, it's YouTube because I realize that's the one I spend the time on. It's where I go to listen to meditations. It's where I love watching people's podcasts. I learn like tutorials on things that I'm working on in my own craft of writing and content creation. That's where I spend the time, and I want to pay that forward. I want to give back there. I want to contribute there. Okay, so I want everybody to identify somewhere you haven't been showing up that your intuition knows would be really good for you. And then what would be one action that you could take? So Lisa Michelle, you're here in our audience, right? And you shared, oh, I haven't been going live. You've been posting, but not live. So maybe Lisa Michelle, if you want to be my, partner this week, since you're here in the audience, you're going to go live one time. That would be a huge breakthrough. The other thing I encourage you all to do, and those of you that are in the Secret Visibility Project, you can pair up. You can pair up with each other and go on each other's pages. And then it's not, so if I would knew I was getting together with Margaret or Suzanne or Deb, Adriana, Thierry, it'd be like, oh, that's going to be fun. I'm not like, oh, I got to go live. I'm like, I'm getting together with someone I love and we're going to have a meaningful conversation. Yeah, Schiffer, this is on YouTube too. We live stream on all the platforms, live streaming on all the places. Oh, Lisa Michelle's up for the challenge. I want you to think about one thing you're going to do in the next 7 days. And if this feels really overwhelming and you're not even sure, make extra sure you sign up for the Secret Visibility Project so that we can do that together. We'll be doing a bonus masterclass on the 25th of November. Yeah, some of you are already in. You're like, I've already signed up ahead of time. I know we kind of like sneaked it out. All right. Those of you on social, if you want the link, just DM me secret, or put it in the comments. All right. And you can use the link here, Susan, and anybody else in the live audience if you want to get your spot there. Or you already did. So where are you going to show up this week that either you haven't been or haven't been as much? And in what way? Right? We don't want to do the safe, easy one. This is a stretch week. It's 11/11. There's powerful energy today coming through for us. So where are you going to show up this week? That's going to be a little bit of a stretch to start to heal your visibility resistance, any visibility wounds, and write a new story. If the old story was, I show up on social and nothing happens, then what very first thing we're going to do is write a new story. I show up on social and I get to meet incredible people that are right fit clients for me and people that I'm here to serve, or students for my course, or speaking opportunities come to me. Yeah, those of you that haven't been doing it at all, like I didn't for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, you pick one where you think you have a hunch people that need what you have, hang out, and you post one thing. All right, Schiffer, you're going on YouTube and Twitter. I love it. Yeah, X is huge right now, which is the new Twitter, right? Okay, this is awesome. This is about courage. It's about empowering ourselves. It's about breaking those lies. Neville Goddard says the new story is the true story. So I want to leave you right now with picking a new visibility story for yourself if you haven't liked the one that's been running. That's the first step really in the secret visibility process. I hope most of you will join us over there at the project. And either way, I want you to write a new story. I'm powerfully effective at social media. I make an impact on social media. I'm a magnet on social media. The irony that I'm doing anything on social media in terms of like creating this experience with all of you and co-creating and doing this together is not lost on me. This was the thing I avoided and avoided and avoided and avoided. I thought because of just the overwhelm and the stuff, and I don't care to have other things to do with my time. And it was really about the visibility wound. So we get to heal that. Yeah, Shifra, we need someone just who's really good on X right now to come in and map that out for us. I agree. Each of these platforms have their own thing. All right. So you can apply anything from the Secret Visibility Project to any platform. I'm going to focus on YouTube in terms of what I'll be showing you that I'm going to try every week and how we're building. And we might not make our goal. I got really comfortable trying something on my own, iterating, failing, improving, trying different things, and then taking what worked and then sharing it. This is the first time professionally that I have ever said, I don't know. We're going to go for this goal, and I'm not going to do it on my own secretly first. I'm actually just going to open the doors for those of you that want to come inside in the inner circle and show you exactly what we're doing and what works so that you can get it in real time. I'm so excited to join you all and do this. Okay. So your homework this week from the show is to just keep tuning in. If visibility is the number one thing that's going to determine my results in the next year, am I making it a priority? And specifically, if you're running with us for this next, series, we're going to be focusing very deeply on social media and the Secret Visibility Project. Okay. You're going to observe yourself if you have any visibility resistance or any visibility wounds that have been holding you back. And you're going to just call forth the healing of that. We're going to heal that together in this community. And then we're going to rise up and show up. The antidote to the lie is acting in alignment with the truth. So if the old lie was, people don't like it when I'm visible or show up or use my voice because of, family stuff, the new story is like, wow, there are people I could really make a difference for today. I'm going to show up. And then the new action is to do it. The new story is the true story. So I'm really excited for this. Okay. So that's what we're working on this week. You've all done a phenomenal, way to go, way to harness 1111 energy. Come in here, open the portal to your rise. And why? Let's bring it all the way back to where we started. What is the point? Why do we need to talk about this? Why is it important? Well, we don't need to. And you don't have to do any of this, right? This is an invitation. But if you feel in your soul that you have been holding back, hiding, not able to make the ultimate impact you want to make yet, this is your moment. This is your moment. And the reason we're doing this, the big why, is that there are many millions of people in the world who are joining each other in the trust recession. You're right. The world sucks. People are terrible. There's plenty of that. People can go all kinds of places for that conversation. That's not this conversation. Because what really empowers us is to rise up together. And you got to rise first. You got to rise up and turn the light on in the lighthouse and start shining that out so people see you and then they feel better. Oh, I can trust myself again. I can trust other people. I'm going to be discerning. I'm going to make sure that this is something worthy of my trust. When you show up for them, you show up where they are already looking for those answers and that inspiration and that clarity. Trust is built. And then when you are able to show them a pathway of the rest of the steps, trust is built. So we're creating a collective trust ascension. And when we in the world look back at this time, I believe we can look back at this as one of the most incredible, magical, empowering, breakthrough, evolving, ascending times in our history. If we're willing to be visible. All right. So I'm excited to do this with you. I'm honored to do this with you. We will see you next time. And very excited to see those of you that feel resonance with this and call to this. Anyone that wants to create an audience and monetize using authenticity, integrity, and impact on social, join us. All right. I will see you all next time. Great job.